Hi, I'm Snez, personal trainer, healthy lifestyle coach, and your guide to feeling your best. This podcast is a segment from my weekly radio show, Wellbeing Wednesdays, broadcast live on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. It's all about sharing real, practical tips to help you move more, eat better, and live healthier without the overwhelm. Let's dive in, shall we? Coming up next, we're going to be talking about how muscle is medicine. And a lot of the times we just think about the aesthetics of looking fit or toning up or getting lean when it comes to muscle. But muscle is so much more than that. And I'm just absolutely fascinated with some of the new information that we're receiving about the so many functions in the body that muscles is contributing to. And the more muscle you have, the better off you're going to be. So this week's Wellbeing Wednesday is all about getting strong and the benefits of getting strong. So when we think about muscle is like your body's backup plan. So when life gets hard, whether it's physically or whether it's emotionally or whether it's even hormonally, your muscles are there to carry you through in all of these different ways. And there's so much science that backs it up. So muscle isn't just a tissue, it's actually metabolically active, meaning it's doing work inside of your body when you're not even moving. So we know that muscles are attached to bones, and when muscles contract, basically what they're doing and how we understand them predominantly is that as they contract, they are just pulling two bones closer together, which causes movement. And fundamentally, yes, that's what they are doing, but they're doing so much more than that. And, I think when we think about how magnificent the human body is, we could probably have guessed that those muscles are up to a lot more than just moving bones around. So when we have a look at some of the things that muscles are doing, firstly, the more muscle you have, the better you can regulate your blood sugar levels. So muscle is one of the main places that glucose is stored, but more importantly, where it is used. And this is why strength training is so powerful for preventing and managing type 2 diabetes, because the more muscle you have, the more glucose your body is going to be utilizing, which means your body needs to store less of it, and it is being used for day-to-day activity. Muscle also pulls on bone, as I said, but when it does that, your bones respond by staying dense and strong. That's why resistance training is one of the most effective ways to prevent osteoporosis, especially in women over the age of 50. And the reason being is that when you have stronger muscles, firstly, while the strength in the muscles is coming from somewhere. So that could be because you are lifting heavy things, you're carrying, and in that process of carrying, that the effort that the muscles are doing, the bones are also getting some tension and some pressure put through the length of the bone. Whether you're doing squats or you're doing a lat pull down or you're doing a chest press, not only are the muscles working, but there is pressure against that bone. One, from the weight that you're lifting against gravity, but also when those muscles are contracting forcefully to create those movements that are lifting and carrying heavy things. So the greater the effort against the bone by the muscles contracting, so the stronger the muscles, the bigger the pull against the bone, which means there is an even stronger and better improvement in bone health, because basically bones respond by the amount of pressure that's placed on them. So if the bones are getting a lot of really forceful muscle contraction against them, or where our bodies are lifting heavy things, the body responds by understanding that we need denser bones to be able to deal with this activity, to prevent injury and to maintain activity. So the bone will lay down, absorb more calcium and thicken and become stronger. Now, the other thing that muscle does is that strong muscles stabilize our joints. And this is something that I find when working with people that do have some injuries, there is a significant improvement, because what we see is that when we've got stronger muscles, say, for example, if we're looking at the muscles around the knee, for example, if those muscles around the knee aren't very strong, then as we're walking around our day, the pressure against that knee joint is going to be quite significant, because rather than having this nice supple muscle holding that joint in place, we pretty much just have the joint sitting quite harshly onto itself, and there's more of a compression in the joint. So that's one aspect of it. But the other thing, though, too, is that when you have stronger muscles, they also allow you to move better and reduce the risk of falls and injuries, which is one of the biggest threats to quality of life as we get older. So research in journals like The Age and Aging and the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research show that even light to moderate resistance training significantly improves mobility, strength and balance as we get older. Now, the other thing is that we're often comparing strengthening exercise to cardio, and I am a big fan of strength and I oftentimes am talking about it, but that's not to say that we need to avoid the cardio. Cardio definitely has its place, whether you're walking, cycling, dancing, running. It is all amazing, hugely beneficial to our cardiovascular health, and it needs to be there as part of a well-rounded program. But if you're doing all cardio, such as just going for your walks, and that's the bulk or all of your activity, then you're really missing a critical piece. Because the reality is that we lose muscle as we get older. Anywhere between 3 to 8% of our muscle mass each decade after the age of 30 starts to decrease. And by the time you're 60, that really begins to add up. And unless you're actively building it back, you are going to experience that loss of muscle mass in feeling like you can't do the things that you used to do, not being able to do the things around your home, basic activities such as carrying groceries and opening jars become a real chore and a real hinge in your life. So that's something that we need to really start to consider. Is strength training can help you to build that muscle back and maintain that muscle. It even benefits your heart. So there's an improvement in blood pressure, in circulation, endurance, especially when you do it in a circuit, or if you're combining muscle groups together, then we are elevating the heart rate for longer, so which does give you a really good heart health benefit. So it's not either or, but as you get older, it's really important to make sure that you include your strength alongside of your walking as well. The other thing that we do see is that there is a huge benefit to our mental and emotional health. And I see it all the time. When someone starts lifting a weight they didn't think they could, their face changes. You can see the confidence just land into them. And strength training has been shown to reduce anxiety and depression, improve sleep, boost self-esteem and mental clarity. And there was a meta-analysis from the Journal of Psychiatric Research that found, quote, that resistance training was as effective as antidepressant medication in some people with no side effects. So there's some incredibly empowering evidence to suggest that strength training is so positive for us and making our body more capable, and makes everything else feel a little more possible when we feel stronger in our body. So if you're feeling a little bit low in energy and tired, like your body's not just what it used to be, don't jump straight into a detox or a diet or trying to take some of the energy drinks or something like that. Just try building some muscle, because muscle isn't just for movement, it is medicine for us. And if you want to learn a little bit about how you can get started, jump onto the Wellbeing Wednesdays with Snez, the Facebook group. I do have some resources there, but also listen in on previous segments of Wellbeing Wednesdays with Snez on the Spotify podcast, but just jump online. Ask ChatGPT. There's numerous ways. Go to your local gym. There's numerous ways to get started. Thanks for joining me on this segment from Wellbeing Wednesdays, as heard live on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who might find it helpful and subscribe so you never miss a show.
Want to catch the live broadcast? Well, you can tune in Wednesdays from 12 till 2 p.m. on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM, or find my info on Wellbeing Wednesdays with Snez, the Facebook group. Take care, stay healthy, and remember, it's the little choices every day that create big changes. Talk soon.